we've gone through quite a bit. We've covered the channel strips, how these get routed across to mix buses, and how you can add some extra processing onto these, then how you can use the VCA faders to automate and change the master control levels of your different assigned sections. And now we're going to take a look at how this master bus works. So we'll be using this to finalize and master our final session. I have quickly gone through what's in this master bus. You've got some meters, such as this correlation meter, showing you the mono and stereo correlation of your audio and if there's any phase issues. Then there's the K14 peak loudness meter, and basically you want your audio to sit right about the 0 to plus 4 dB area on this meter. If you go any higher, it's going to be pretty hot and you're going to be squashing out all the dynamic range that you've been working on in your mix. So if it's sitting at about 0 dB, it's actually at minus 14 dB at its peak level on the audio. Then there's also some tape saturation that you can apply, which is quite nice just to add that extra warmth onto your outgoing signal. You can also apply a limiter. So this just makes sure that if you increase the trim value, that none of your audio ever clips. So starting off, let's play back this track and do some tonal shaping with the EQ. Then we'll take a look at these meters and then do some final bus processing on the mix bus with some drive saturation and some level gaining. So I've got a loop section that I've set up in the editor, and I'm just going to loop through this and do some adjusting to the master bus. Here we go. So I have done an overall level adjustment with these VCAs. So now on the EQ, let's maybe try out a bass boost. Let's maybe scoop out some of the mids. And when it gets to the mastering stage, you just want to do some subtle adjustments to everything. Maybe a bit more presence. Before. Yeah, it's not too bad. Now taking a look at this correlation meter, it's sitting around the mono area, but it's also jumping around, showing that there's some stereo width. But there isn't any problems. It's not jumping all the way to the left, showing any phasing issues. With the K meter, it's sitting around about 0 dB. I can maybe gain it a bit more just to get it to sit between that 0 and plus 4 region. Now, how about some tape saturation? That's a bit much. It's maybe somewhere over here. Now, the beauty of this limiter is if you enable it, it does some hard limiting, so it'll never go above 0 dB. If I push up this trim value, you can see that the limiter is kicking in when I push it up by 7 dB. But it's never clipping, so that's quite a bit. But I'd say somewhere around about 5 dB is going to be good on the trim value. Bearing in mind, we did some gain structuring throughout the song, so that's why there's some headroom that we can play with. And listening back, maybe that's a bit much. Say about 4 dB. I think that's working pretty well. So basically what we've done is we've done some tonal shaping with the EQ just to do some minor adjustments to the overall mix after hearing everything back. Then we've done some tape saturation to impart some extra warmth into that master bus. And then we've used the limiter to make sure that none of the audio clips. And with the limiter enabled, we can do some gaining on that master volume with the trim amount to push it up a bit just to get some extra volume in this mix. So I think that's giving you a really good understanding on how to use this master bus to finalize your audio. Now, in the next video, let's take a look at how we can export out our song.